today, and there's a lot of positive things that you see. Tyler played a little better, and of course it helped having Justin Hunter back. He made a big play on the first drive. Herman Lathers, Brian Randolph really show up a lot on defense, flying around. But the biggest thing that's kind of holding us back right now is it's number one, our level of discipline on the simple things. Discipline on the simple things. A lot of penalties. We make too many mistakes that are really simple things. And then the second one is just our attitude when the flow of the game begins to happen, and how we get affected by things that shouldn't affect us, whether it's a big play, or I'm tired, or I didn't get the call, or maybe one guy's jawing a little bit. And so those are the things right now anchoring us that we got to really work on. But I'm pleased with the effort. I'm pleased with the toughness. We're still running the ball better. There's a lot of good things happening, but in order for us to be a good football team, our level of discipline and our mental outlook when things go a little cockeyed out there has to get better.
How do you fix that, Derek?
Well, we got to keep reinforcing it, keep emphasizing it, and keep demanding that it gets changed. And if it doesn't get changed, we got to put other people in the game. That's why you got to have a deep team.
Derek, just looking at the numbers, it looked like Tyler must have had a little better day with his accuracy.
Yeah, a little better day, but didn't execute well in the situations, I didn't think. We had a kind of a normal scrimmage where that was about 2/3 of the day, and then the last third was sort of end of the game situations. And I told our team we need to watch football. I mean, we got guys that sometimes it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 10, 1st and 10. We got 2 plays to win the game. We just run plays, and Tyler needs to get better at that. That end of the game situation, the urgency, and a play's incomplete, got to go to the next one, get it moving. So we need a little work in those areas.
In terms of the numbers too, it looked like Marlon had a much better day.
He did. Marlon ran with a lot more toughness, aggressiveness, and it showed. He had good numbers. He had about 6 yards a carry, so that was good.
After last week, was that important?
Yeah, I thought so. I was disappointed in how he performed last week, and he was too. And like good players do, they respond, and he responded well. Had a good week. Had a good couple of days toward the end of the week, and I think he was ready to go out there and prove, what he can do, and he did.
What was the difference? Sorry, John, just one more on that.
I think it's your mental outlook. It's all how things don't go your way, or you're not ready, or your mind's not in it. So the attitude is our number one core value, your attitude, your mental outlook on a day-to-day basis. And, it's that old saying, things turn out for the best for those who make the best of the way things turn out. And right now, when things turn out wrong, we got too many guys that don't make the best of it. And that's what we got to learn how to do.
I know you weren't pleased with how the offense closed the scrimmage, but several people talked about...
Is that what they all said?
Well, no, I mean, you just said you didn't like the way they closed. But several people talked about...
Just making sure you were listening to me, or
always there.
Trying to get some information from you.
Hanging on every word. But they talked about setting the tempo early and doing a good job.
Yeah, they did a real good job. But here's what happens, though. We set the tempo and we're rolling. But then when the defense settles in, make a couple plays, now how do we get back going again? And that's where we're not there yet. And still, it's not something that changes over time.
Is it tough when you've got Hunter scrimmaging for the first time and you've got other variables, is it tough for everybody to be expected to be on the same page right now? Or they just got to get it done?
No, I don't think so. We've got a lot of snaps with each other. We need to go play and get it done.
Derek, you mentioned Herm at the beginning. I know he's got someone on his elbow. He said his groin's been hurting him. That kind of toughness for him, you think that maybe wears off on the rest of his team?
I hope so. Herman's doing great, man. He's flying around, and he's not giving me the, he used to always, I'm 80%, 80. We're 100%. And I think that's helping him get over the hump mentally. When you've had as many injuries as he has, the first sign of pain, it probably makes you a little nervous. And he's working through it, and he's really playing good football for us.
With so many linebackers on the shelf and kind of thin right there, how important is it to get him out, a veteran
critical.
that knows what's going on?
But they're all important, Losing Christian hurt, Majit's not out there, so it's all.
talking about Justin's day and how important it was for him to go out.
Well, it was good to see him. The first drive, he catches 2 passes and a long touchdown. It just shows you the kind of impact a guy can have out there. And it just, yeah, he's a good football player. We need him to be healthy, and need him to be healthy all 12 games.
Derek, one of the, I think it was Herman mentioned that Sal Sinceri really emphasizes knowing the difference between an injury and just being hurt.
Right.
And emphasizes playing through that, the toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a team-wide emphasis, or is that more Sal on defense?
No, I think it's a team-wide, and it's something probably we didn't do as good a job as we needed to in the last year. So again, it goes back to getting affected, your mental outlook. And I told the team the other day, life wouldn't be so difficult if you didn't expect it to be so easy. So when you get down there and you get hit and it hurts, you shouldn't be surprised. You should expect it to hurt, and you get up and you go play again, and that's what you do. And so we're getting a lot better at that. Those, I said it in the beginning of the spring. Those core values of the attitude and the discipline and the toughness and effort are going to impact winning and losing more than anything. And that's what we're honing in on this spring.
Derek, you don't want guys playing
Excuse
out.
me. I got to sneeze. These allergies, man.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You putting that on the internet?
It would have been
I'm
better
sorry,
if you shot
John.
that way. That would have been
Yeah, right into it's respect is one of our values, too.
Derek, but knowing the difference, you don't want guys out there when they're impaired and can't play as well physically,
Right.
though. You count on them to be able to know.
No. We count on our trainers. Our trainers do a great job of that. And they usually say, yeah, he's a little dinged, but he's all right.
After looking at the stats.
And you know what? What you learn is, and the trainers learn, who is a drama queen and who sometimes you got to pull guys out because they ain't coming out. And you go, you need to come out, Brent Brewer, I think he's forgotten he had an ACL. He's out there diving and flying around. I'm like, Brew, come on, dog. All right, so you just get a feel for the player. But some guys, every time they get hit, they have to have this big seance to let the whole stadium know, look at me, I'm in pain, and that's what we got to get rid of.
How well has Devin done? It seems like he's shown up the last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
Deverin's doing well. He's a big play back. Dutton still needs to develop in the discipline area, and of course, our big challenge with Devin is the durability. We want to use him, but he's a guy like that. You can try and use him too much, and all of a sudden you lose him. So that's going to be a real good challenge for us.
Have you been able to use him in between the tackles, or is because he's so small?
No, he's playing running back. Mm-hmm. He gets in there, and I think he went through Tiny's legs one play. Went right through him.
Derek, how was the defensive communication today compared to the first game?
We need a lot of work on it. Our substitutions, not where it needs to be, and and then part of it's a new defense, and then you get out here and everything's good in practice, but now see the coaches are off the side, so here's the signal, they got to all go talk to each other. Where in practice, you got a lot of coaches out there coaching, and so we need more of these. We'll probably do a little more of that next week in practice. Get off the field, they got to talk.
Is some of that dictated by the offensive control?
Yeah, that's always harder. When an offense is in a nice rhythm, they're on their heels. So, but I think it's more, you're playing a lot. You're trying to roll guys too to get the right snaps for the scrimmage. So you're substituting guys that you might not do it in the game. I think it's a little bit of the loneliness nature of being out there with just your teammates and not your coaches. A lot of those guys don't have enough snaps on them, so we'll get better at that.
Derek Randolph said he wanted to kind of take a step this spring and kind of be more of a playmaker. Is he taking the steps?
Well, he intercepted it and had another big interception. The last drive of the game. The offense needed a touchdown, 2 minutes to go, and second down, we served one up to Randolph. So he's made plays in both scrimmages.
Any new injuries today?
I don't think so. We'll see. I think B. Moore turned his ankle a little bit, but I don't think it's serious. We'll know more. But I think that's about it.
Derek, with Randolph, does that is he a stable force there where you can maybe spend more time evaluating, Byron or Rod or whoever else at the other spot?
Well, we don't have a lot of guys, so, but I think your point is, yeah. I mean, but we're not putting him on the side to rep the other guys.
Right, sure.
Is that what you're getting
No,
at?
I mean, you don't have to worry about him.
Well, he got a lot to do. They all do. But we're getting a good evaluation of everybody. We are.
Denver's versatility, does that help you guys when you want to press tempo a little bit on offense, just the fact that he can do so many different things for you?
I don't think it has to do with tempo. It's just he's a change of pace guy. And so, he is good when you got them on their heels and you're on play 6 of the drive and you put the little guy in and it's just, he's a lot faster. So, and I think he's a good compliment because, they don't get used to tackling a certain guy. All of a sudden he's coming at them and you better bring it a little differently.
I know they didn't sustain it the way that you wanted to, but when you get the offense in an up-tempo rhythm, I mean, what are the benefits for you guys?
Well, it depends on if the defense is stopping you or not.
But the
there
ability
were a lot of times last year, I reflect last year, when we were in rhythm and had a nice tempo, when Tyler was in rhythm, we looked pretty good. And then we got out of rhythm and our tempo slowed down, we're thinking, we didn't look good. And so we're constantly preaching to maintain that rhythm, and that's important.
And then your specialist today?
Pilardi, he missed one, but he's really he's making a lot of progress, man. His kickoffs, he's been money on kickoffs. He looks like a different guy out there. And it wasn't just moving him up 5. I mean, he's got a real confident approach. He adjusted some things. The biggest thing we're ironing out on our field goals is we got a new snapper and a new holder. And so there's a lot of nuances that can affect a kick. But he's having a good spring. Matt's still not.
Excuse me.
Matt's still not.
Terry, back to the toughness thing. Have you found throughout your career that your best teams were also your toughest
Yes,
teams?
100%. And it's really in any sport. It's not just because this is a physical sport. The toughest basketball teams usually win. The toughest baseball teams, because it's physical and mental toughness. And that goes back, a lot of the injury thing we're talking about, it's mental toughness. And it's not getting affected. I mean, and this is this sport is about who's going to break whose will. That's what it is. It's a physically, mentally, and emotionally demanding 60 minutes. And at some point, either you break his will or he breaks your will. And that's what it is. And, we got our will broken a little too much last year. And you saw it in the second half. So that's our number one thing this year. We got to toughen up. We don't make excuses. Get it done.
Derek who fumbled.
Rajon Neal. It's his first one this spring.
That's not what we heard.
Not his first one. Served another one up. Can't play if you can't hold on to the football. All right, guys.